Hello again, everybody. Welcome to our RedRaiders.com postgame show brought to you by University Medical Center. Coming to you from Memorial Stadium, Norman, Oklahoma. I'm Don Williams from the Lubbock Avalanche-Journal alongside Carlos Silva Jr. Red Raiders losing 49-27 here Saturday night. Carlos, a game in which looked like a shootout for the first quarter. Each team scores touchdowns on its first three possessions, and then the offense kind of fizzles for Texas Tech.
Yeah,
and
Red Raiders
kind of get pulled away.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like you kind of mentioned in your column, the defense just wasn't able to stop Baker Mayfield and that very high-powered offense of the number 10 ranked Sooners. I know everyone will look back to the Michael Barden missed extra point, but at that point, Texas Tech was going and they were rolling on offense. Nick Shimanek was finding his receivers, found Cameron Batson. TJ Vash was starting to kind of get going as well, along with Kiki QT. They were making big plays. It was just a matter of the defense wasn't able to kind of make those turnovers as they were doing earlier in the season.
Yeah, and I didn't really expect them to in this game. And the reason why is because Baker Mayfield, he's the nation's most efficient passer.
Yep.
Leads the FBS in passing efficiency. He's thrown only 2 interceptions all season.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma's been good at protecting the football, so I thought that they would be a tough team to take it away from, and they were. And Mayfield gave you 1 interception, and that wasn't really all that meaningful.
Yeah, it was kind of late in the game, and then, of course, at that point, it was kind of already figured out what was going to happen. But the only thing you can kind of take away is just kind of looking at some of the things that Texas Tech did do. That was T.J. Vasher getting 98 yards, 2 away from getting his second 100-yard game of the season. And then, of course, Trey King having career highs in rushes at being 24 and then yards 113, certainly showing the ability to carry, to kind of be an every down kind of back, Don.
Yeah, and they gave him that opportunity because they went in with a game plan to run Trey King a lot early. So much so that very first series he had 9 carries for 47 yards. Red Raiders' first series of the game had their longest scoring drive of the season, at least in terms of plays. 15 plays, 12 of them were running plays. 9 of those by Trey King, 3 of them by Desmond Nisby. I thought one interesting thing that the Red Raiders did during that stretch, a lot of those plays, they had Dylan Cantrell lined up almost to the left sideline, and T.J. Vasher lined up almost to the right sideline. They made Oklahoma defend
Spread them out
the entire width of the field, and it seemed to work. And so I was kind of curious and asked Cliff Kingsbury afterward, you got away from that. How come? He says because Oklahoma changed the defensive front. They adjusted. They adjusted to that and changed up their look.
And I know you kind of mentioned in your notebook as well, one of the reasons Dylan Cantrell moved around a little bit was Derek Willey's not making the trip, along with Justin Stockton, who injured his head as well, has a head injury. Do you have any updates on them?
Well, five key guys, or five guys who are in the depth chart missing tonight. Justin Stockton, of course, with the head injury, not unexpected. Mason Reed missed another game. He's been out since Kansas, I guess. And then you had 3 guys that were unexpected to being absent. Derek Willey's as a wide receiver. Nick McCann, who's in the rotation as a defensive tackle, and DJ Polite-Bray, who's in the rotation as a cornerback. Asked Cliff Kingsbury several questions about it after the game. He said he wouldn't really elaborate beyond saying it was coach's decision, going to stick with his coach's decision. Asked him if it was disciplinary, and he said just going to stick with coach's decision.
Of course.
But said they were not all related to the same circumstances. But, we've kind of seen this for about a month now where guys will either, maybe not to this extreme in terms of not traveling, but we've seen guys who have been kind of regulars in the rotation not play at times or play, 1 or 2 snaps because they could say in the past they didn't really practice well that week.
Yeah, which of course they have depth at the wide receiver position, just as we kind of mentioned, T.J. Vasher stepping up. But certainly after a 49-27 loss, looking to kind of bounce back. They've got an 11 a.m. game this Saturday against Kansas State. What are you kind of expecting from Texas Tech now?
Well, this is one that you need to win because Kansas State has not been an offensive juggernaut this season. A good team, not a great team.
Struggle against Kansas today.
And I didn't see. I didn't even see the final outcome of that.
It's been a busy day.
But I mean, this is one you got to get because now you're 4-4. You have a 3-game losing streak. You need to snap the streak. You need to get bowl eligible. If you're going to get bowl eligible, easiest games to do it against are going to be Baylor in Arlington, which comes up in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And and then you got to win one of your home games. And the easier of the two home games, Kansas State and TCU, would appear to be TCU, regardless of TCU losing today at Oklahoma State. So if you don't get next Saturday, then this thing is really in danger. The season is in danger of slipping away from you if it hadn't already.
Well, it's certainly been a busy day, and then, of course, Iowa State did beat TCU today. It wasn't Oklahoma State, but certainly a lot of things to talk about as well on the podcast that we'll do as well. I know you want to mention one thing before we kind of close out here.
And I was going to say, the Red Raiders are going to be down one key player for the Kansas State game, first half of the Kansas State game. Deshaun Johnson, right here in this end zone, got ejected tonight for targeting. That came in the second half, and so he gets the personal foul. The targeting, they looked at it, reviewed it, upheld it, and so he gets tossed. And that's going to be your leading tackler on the team out for the first half of next week's game. And, and Deshaun Johnson, and I think, some people may criticize him for it. I mean, he was making a tough football play.
Yes, he was.
The kind of play that we used to celebrate because he went in and
he hit him hard.
To knock the guy's block off.
Hit him hard.
I mean, and you're trying to break up a touchdown pass. And, the very thing the things that get Deshaun Johnson in trouble are the very things that make him a really good football player. I mean, he's the smallest guy on the field a lot of nights, and he's leading your team in tackles. The Red Raiders could use more guys who play with the same intensity and passion and, borderline recklessness that he plays with. Absolutely.
Well, we'll definitely see how things turn out. Obviously, a tough one tonight, 49-27. As we kind of wrap this one up, Don, any last thoughts before we kind of sign off here?
I think we pretty much.
It's cold. It's cold.
Carlos wants to put his jacket back on.
I do. It's very cold. Yes, it is.
And our engineer-producer, Brad Tollefson, said, take your jacket off.
Yes.
So we are, and we did. And we appreciate you tuning in. Again, it's been another post-game edition of the RedRaiders.com post-game show brought to you by University Medical Center. For Brad Tollefson and for Carlos Silva Jr., I'm Don Williams from the Avalanche-Journal. We'll talk to you again soon.